Hello and welcome back to the Force Feed. In today's gaming news, Bastion comes to the iPad, Steam Greenlight is live and awaits your approval, The Secret World fails to perform, and Spec Ops The Line dev says that their multiplayer was a waste of money. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the show. It is Thursday, August 30th, and I'm here with your gaming news. But before we get started, I have to apologize. It's been a few days since we aired the last episode because I've just been way too busy to actually record the Force Feed. With my website being down and a whole bunch of other stuff going on, it's been a little hectic. I'll just keep telling myself that. Maybe it'll make me feel better. Probably not, though. I bet chocolate will do the trick. Oh god, glorious chocolate. On to the gaming news. First up today, we've got the announcement that Bastion is coming to the iPad. Supergiant Games' Bastion is coming to the iPad later today. Bastion is a role-playing action game that has you playing the role of the Kid, a young survivor who must uncover the mysteries of his shattered world. Bastion received critical acclaim for its interesting setting, gameplay, and narration, all of which make it a must-own downloadable title. The game will be available on Apple's App Store later today for $4.99. Bastion is an absolutely fantastic game. In fact, I'm pretty sure I did a video covering it for the PC a little while back. I'll be sure to provide a link in the video description below so you can check that out. Moving on, we've got the news that Steam Greenlight is now live, allowing you to rate and pick games to be available on Steam. Steam Greenlight is a hub for developers to post information on their games for community feedback and review. Based on a thumbs rating system, games that receive the most community attention will be added to the Steam store. In the past, Valve had a team that did this work for them, but now thanks to Steam Greenlight, us gamers have a say in the process. I'm really excited for what Steam Greenlight can potentially be. There's definitely some major flaws with the system, specifically with a thumbs up system. It pretty much just becomes a popularity contest. But as long as the gaming community is willing to filter through everything on Steam Greenlight to find the cream of the crop, that I think this could mean some really great developers pushing out some really great games that actually make it to Steam. Moving on, we've got the announcement that The Secret World, unsurprisingly, failed to perform and received sales much below what was expected. Funcom, developer of The Secret World, has announced that the game sold a total of 200,000 units, which is about half of what they expected. They point to low press scores as a major factor in the game's poor sales, and say that going forward they will focus on creating games with smaller development cycles and higher player interaction like League of Legends and Minecraft. I don't think so. You can't blame press for your game's poor sales. Truth of the matter is, The Secret World was pretty uninspired. It had some really fantastic ideas and thoughts behind it, and there was a great premise to the game, and the world was pretty interesting. But the gameplay mechanics? Boring as crap. I mean, this is the same old MMO that we've been seeing time and time again. Hotkey-based, pretty crappy and unresponsive combat, and again, some great ideas, but overall not worth it. I think the biggest problem with The Secret World is the fact that they're trying to charge a subscription fee. Are you kidding me? If Star Wars The Old Republic can't charge a subscription fee, there's no way this game could. I think if they had launched free to play, they would have been in a much better position. What do you guys think? And last up in news today, we'll be talking about Spec Ops The Line multiplayer. The game's developer said it was a waste of money. In an interview with The Verge, Spec Ops The Line lead designer Corey Davis described the game's multiplayer as a low-quality Call of Duty clone in the third person that was a waste of money. Davis said that their publisher, 2K Games, insisted the game have a multiplayer, even though he and the rest of the development team didn't want it. He goes on to say that the multiplayer sheds a negative light on the rest of the game by altering its tone and mechanics for the worse. This is some pretty interesting news, and I think it brings up an important point. Whether or not all games should have a multiplayer. Obviously, the developers of Spec Ops The Line didn't think so, but their publisher said, you know what? If you're producing a shooter, we need some sort of a multiplayer mode. That'll get the kids playing. But the fact of the matter is, Spec Ops The Line is a game that's focused on the world and the story it's telling, more so than the actual gameplay mechanics. In fact, generally speaking, playing Spec Ops The Line wasn't that interesting or fun. But the story it was telling, pretty engaging. So you have a game like this that's really more focused on telling a story than actually playing the game, and you try to throw in a multiplayer to it, it's bound for disaster. And as you saw with Spec Ops The Line, the multiplayer was terrible. So I don't blame the game's developer for not being happy about adding it on and basically wasting money. And that's going to lead me into today's question of the day. What do you think about the fact that most games nowadays are tacking on a multiplayer, even if it doesn't fit or turns out to be a crappy experience? Now, I'm of the opinion that I enjoy multiplayer gaming, and typically that's what I really focus on. But if it's supposed to be a single player focused game, and if adding a multiplayer is going to ruin the whole package, then I think you should probably leave it out. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Alright guys, that'll do it for today's episode of the Force Feed. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like the content, be sure to like and favorite this video. Once again, this has been Force, and you've just been force-fed. Come on, Funcom, really? You're gonna blame the press and media for your game's poor sales? How about you blame the crappy gameplay? Story? Okay. Gameplay?